Hello, everybody! We're over a couple of drinks, and we are doing the Top Shelf, the place where you can get your premium nerd news from mediocre gentlemen like ourselves. Chris Birch isn't here because he doesn't have internet. That kind of hinders everything.
He also lives in Ohio, which hinders everything.
If all viewers in Ohio, none of you, I'm sorry. I'm Bill Heading. With me, as always, is the Dr. Spock to my Hank McCoy. No, actually, I'm Kirk. Screw it. Ben Griffiths.
What?
Yay, analogies.
Analogies
I'm
on
the Spock to your Hank Kirk McKirk.
I'm Kirk. I realized I'm Kirk. It doesn't matter. And our red shirt for the evening.
I was just gonna say, the red shirt for the evening.
Yeah, you know how things go on the Top Shelf. If we can't get Birch, we get Billy Mathis. Hi, Billy Mathis.
Hello. Secondary character here.
We got a lot of news to cover tonight, but first of all, we have to figure out what everybody's drinking tonight. I'm drinking a little Arnold Palmer.
Oh. Take a walk on the wild
Blue
side.
Solo cup. Nice.
I think I had soda out of this 2 days ago.
What?
The same solo.
Perhaps. Obi, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a melted Reese's McFlurry.
Is that from McDonald's?
From where else do you get a fucking McFlurry, Bill?
There's plenty of
I
places.
made it myself.
Plenty of people call them McFlurries in other places.
No, it's called a Frosty at Wendy's or a Blizzard at Dairy Queen.
That's right. Keep saying all these companies so we can bill them.
Sponsor us, please.
Sponsor, please. Billy, what are you drinking?
I'm living life dangerously. Drinking coffee late at night. Also, CMU alum cup.
Oh,
Because I only own one coffee cup. This is the only coffee cup I own.
Okay, so on tap we have a lot of stuff. We're just going to go through it. I'm not going to list it off. And we may occasionally have some off-topic stuff. What are we calling them? Imports? Is that it? LB, you're the king of, making sure we stay on this bar.
I don't know. I'm just the red shirt. I don't have an
Yeah.
opinion.
Why don't you just go stand over there? You'll be fine, I swear.
We'll have domestic and foreign.
What? I don't...
Is it imports? Like domestic beers and foreign beers.
Don't we call the off-topic stuff imports or whatever?
When did this must have been a show I wasn't in, Bill.
No, this was like the last time Billy was here, and I kept bringing up stuff that I didn't put on the list.
Okay.
I hate you guys. Invite me on your podcast, just unorganized.
Yeah.
There's no organization to this podcast.
Have you seen our channel? Have you heard our podcast?
I
Bill,
know you
what's
personally.
on tap?
On tap tonight, we let's start with there's more Suicide Squad pictures because that's every goddamn week. I don't know. Did you guys see the better pictures of Batman?
I really, at this point, I'm not. I'm starting to just tune out of Suicide Squad stuff. Like you said, there's new stuff coming out every day, and it's like, and none of it's considerably interesting. It's like they're going to the subway, they're walking down the street. Yeah, like I don't really care. Now it's just like, all right, movie come out, I'm ready because I don't care anymore.
LB, do you care anymore?
I never cared.
Okay, good. We're removing Suicide Squad from everything else until the movie comes out.
Okay, thank you.
My first exposure to Suicide Squad was in Arrow, and I was like, cool. And then it's like, oh, they're making a movie about the
Not
same
these
characters but different actors. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Up next is something that hurts me deeply. Disney pulls the plug on Tron 3. Now, Tron Legacy, I loved it. I saw it a few times in theaters. I own the soundtrack because it's amazing.
Oh, the soundtrack is amazing, yeah.
And they said the director was coming back, and then they got the one guy come back, and I was like, I don't care. And then Olivia Wilde was coming back, and I was like, okay, maybe. And then they're like, we're talking to Daft Punk, and I'm like, this is gonna be the best movie ever. Because Daft Punk. That's all. That's all I needed.
Right.
And then next thing I hear is that they pulled the plug because Tomorrowland didn't do great. So thank you, George Clooney, for fucking up another franchise.
Wait. They pulled the plug on Tron 3 because Tomorrowland didn't do good?
Didn't do as well as they expected, and they didn't want to spend the money on another thing like that.
on a completely unrelated film.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
and
I
that's the Disney way to do things. But in all honesty, didn't Tron 2, wasn't it not that profitable for them?
No, they made money.
I mean, they made money, but did they make enough to constitute...
Disney prints money every day.
Right,
They
but...
print money.
yeah.
They have little mouses on mice on them.
I'm not sure I felt like Tron Legacy needed a follow-up, though.
I wanted a follow up because I love Tron.
I know, but I mean, Tron Legacy works even if you've never seen Tron. It
Yeah, that's
works
a
as a
great thing.
standalone film.
Yeah, it does. It was great, and I love everything Tron. I love Tron. I love Tron 2.0. I love Reboot because that's basically Tron. You know, I just love it all. So, you know, Tron 3, yeah. Could you get Daft Punk back? Yeah, great. Canceled.
I mean, yeah, I just don't see the point of another Tron movie, I guess. But yeah, it would have been.
I don't see the point of it.
So I'm not disappointed or upset because it's like, well, okay.
I
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were making it.
You canceled something I didn't even know you were making, so I'm not that disappointed. I mean, that's my thing is, like, I know the Legacy did good, but I know it wasn't a huge moneymaker. The soundtrack was phenomenal. I love the soundtrack. And I'd take Tron 3 just for another Tron 3 soundtrack, or Tron soundtrack, but,
let's cut out the middleman and say Daft Punk give us another album.
yeah, just pretend like you're making a Tron soundtrack and then release that as a CD. We'll take it. But I kind of agree with LB on this one. Is like I'm just not sad. I don't know. I guess there's other things that Disney and Disney also has a huge catalog of movies coming out in these next few years. Not just including Marvel, but all these other things. Who knows how eclipsed that would be, or what the production value would be at this current time. I don't know.
I'm looking up how much money Tron Legacy made.
Because
it made $397.2 million.
I lied. I'm a piece of shit and I'm stupid.
I think that's worldwide. So that was a real quick
bad.
Google search. So
Canceling things that don't make sense. I don't know. They do it a lot.
speaking about canceling things that don't make sense,
Segue.
Segway.
Firefly. Oh.
No, that made perfect sense. They put it in the Friday kill slot and then wrote it to death. No, there was a rumor that Silent Hills was gonna be revived on the Xbone, and Microsoft said no.
I hope it's not revived on Xbox.
I
hope not.
I just want it to come out.
Yeah, well, and there's all that weird, like Kojima. We talked about this, I think, last time I was on, but
Yeah.
Konami's just being weird, and they're canceling things that don't make sense. And I quote me if I'm wrong, but I read somewhere that the game was like on the upper end of 50% complete. Like they had a lot completed on that game.
And that's like a lot of money right there, because you think about like if it's the actual game complete, that's like all like artwork done, pre-rendering done, stories written, most
Mechanics.
of the mechanics are done. You know, you're in. You know, I mean, I'd say like maybe even started recording voice acting.
Yeah.
So at that point, why don't you just finish it and put it out? There was enough hype behind this that it was going to sell like hotcakes.
Whether the game was good or not, it was going to sell like crazy.
Yeah, so we're just sad to say that everything's getting canceled.
Yeah, well, and I know Norman Reedus finally put something out on Twitter about it, about his disappointment and the sadness he had because of it. And Guillermo del Toro was, I guess they both signed the petition to bring the game back. Like that's gonna do anything, but
I signed the Tron 3 petition.
Bill, you're the only one who cares about Tron 3 here.
That's why there's like over 100,000 signs. You know.
Did you get a T-shirt?
No. Did you get a T-shirt? That's what I thought. We talked about depressing stuff. Let's talk about more depressing stuff.
Yay!
Hey, did you guys hear about the Big Trouble in Little China remake?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Starring The Rock. Elvis face. Okay.
LB's got something to say. Say it.
For the viewers who don't know what Big Trouble in Little China is, it's a John Carpenter film trying to make a kung fu film, in which he wanted the American of the film, the star, to actually talk big and do absolutely nothing, and it succeeded perfectly. and Jack Burton is one of the best movie characters ever. I love Big Trouble in Little China. Elby, what are your thoughts on this remake?
Why?
Exactly. Big Trouble in Little China was also a huge flop. It is.
Yeah, it's a cult classic. It's not a good movie by any
No.
sense in the
By
word.
every sense of the imagination, it is a great movie because Jack Burton. Okay, the opening scene, Jack Burton is better than any superhero ever. He is eating a foot-long sub, wearing sunglasses. It's raining. It's dark. He's talking on a CB radio. He's driving a big rig, so that means he's shifting gears and driving the steering wheel. That's like 4 arms, and he's doing it with 2. Man's brilliant. Okay.
It's Hollywood's, and I agree with LB. It's Hollywood's thing now to like remake movies that don't need it, that aren't in need of it. I mean, in all honesty, though, I like The Rock. I think he's done some really good movies. He's done some real shit. He's done some real pieces of shit. But as a action star, I can stand him.
But I don't see him like not outside of getting my mind around what the hell a Big Trouble in Little China remake would look like. I don't see him as a Jack Burton character.
Well, no, neither do I. But
It just occurred to me what's going on. Okay, so Hollywood made blockbusters like movies, like Total Recall, etc., etc.
Total Recall.
And because they want to make them with more recent, newer special effects and everything, and then they started making movies based off of toy franchises and board games, and now the new thing is just making remakes of cult classics that nobody asked for remakes of, like Big Trouble in Little China and Point Break.
Yeah.
Point Break.
And wasn't there talk about the whole Rocky Horror Picture Show being remade?
It still is. They're still going through with it, apparently.
Don't do it.
They can still cast Tim Curry.
Tim, get the original cast back, please. Okay, thanks. Bye.
He's still hanging in there. He's barely alive, but he's doing it.
If you ask him to do the tranny drop, he would be there in a heartbeat.
Oh, he would any day.
Yeah.
I'm just.
If they do remake it, and I would just hope they cast him as the no-neck professor character.
Oh, that would be.
That'd be understandable.
I think it's better than the Glee remake, right? The Glee does Rocky Horror.
What are you talking about? What?
Oh, I just made that show up on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Big Trouble in Little China. I hope it goes the way of Escape from New York, and Kurt Russell puts his foot down and says no, because Kurt Russell does that. Please, Kurt Russell, don't let them remake one of the best movies ever made. Next, how about some good news? Eddie Redmayne, is that his name?
Yep.
The guy who won the Oscar this year. Yes, last year
For playing
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. I almost said Stephen King, so that's not right.
Stephen Hawking. He stole the Oscar from Michael Keaton. That's how I say it. Birdman for life. Woo.
Oh yeah. Woo.
He's officially been cast in the Harry Potter spin-off, the Magical Beasts, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
No, neither do I. And
This is
I'm
the story
Moving
of
on.
Newt Scamander or whatever, who wrote the book Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm sure I'm butchering things, and I'll get yelled at it for it later.
it's
but-
a movie about Newt?
It's a Newt
Rebecca?
Scamander.
Like
It's
Rebecca Newt?
Bill.
Aliens?
only Bill would make everything about aliens. No. Okay. Let me say a thing.
Albie, go. No, Albie's filling us in. He's telling us.
Oh,
what's up.
yeah.
About Newt Scamander. Blah, blah, blah.
It's just about that character tracking down magical beasts and telling people where to find them. Hence the title, Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Can we get like a now you know star just to fly across? Do.
The more you know.
The more you know. It's whatever.
I don't.
J.K. Rowling talked a lot about in the beginning about how none of this stuff was going to happen, like the movies, like all the merchandising stuff, and she's lost all kind of.
And how she was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna write any more Harry Potter books," and then she tried to write something else and realized it didn't sell. So now she's coming out with a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. Oh, shots fired! Shots fired!
Well, it's not.
Nope.
It's not more Harry Potter. It's just set in the same.
No.
It's set in the wizarding world of Harry
I'm
Potter.
not talking about that. I'm like how she's now like writing short stories about Harry Potter, even though she said she was done.
Oh,
Shots fired!
Pottermore, yeah.
Shots fired!
Because she's kind of a metaphorical one-hit wonder, and that
one-trick
she
pony.
won't write anything good outside of the Harry Potter universe.
She's too big. Too big.
I should point out the title is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
What did we say? Magical beasts and where to
Magical
find?
Beasts. That's close enough.
Nope. Renamed. Renamed official.
Fantastic.
Moving on, we got a new Rise of the Tomb Raider trailer before the E3 stuff. It's nothing fantastical. It's all CG. Laura's climbing a big mountain. Her pants will make it look like she's not wearing pants because there's snow.
Lara Croft, woo!
So, yeah,
I've played one Lara Croft game.
Which one?
It was like this two-stick shooter,
Oh,
like puzzle adventure game.
Guardian
Like,
of Light.
that one. It's not even like a real Tomb Raider game.
I have that, and I have like Legacy and Anniversary and Underworld.
What's the newest one?
and
What was the one that just came out?
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that one. I
Yeah.
played that one. That one felt a lot like Uncharted with a girl.
Yeah, I was
It was
playing that, and then I stopped because I didn't care.
Yeah, I think I rented it and beat it in a weekend. I mean, it was fun.
Question mark?
Yeah, like it was. It was an improvement from the old games, but
It felt like Uncharted, and it would like try to do a little Metroidvania. God, why do I stay? It felt like Metroid. I'm gonna stop saying Metroidvania. We'll get on that rant later. It's just Metroid, okay? Metroid did it first. Castlevania copied. Why is that in the name? It's Metroid. It felt Metroid-y by saying, "Ooh, you get this upgrade. Now you can go here," kind of thing. It's I don't know.
severe backtracking the game.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just don't care.
Unless there's some sort of drastic change to the formula, I don't see myself getting hyped over it. There's other games that are coming out that I'm more excited for.
Yeah. Speaking about things coming out, finally, George R. R. Martin has said that he's going to get Winds of Winter out before Game of Thrones Season 6. Woo!
So, Game of Thrones Season 6, 2020.
You know it.
Right?
You know it.
Well, he has to, right? We're almost to the point where we're passing up the books.
We're past some books.
Are we?
We're past some books. We're all over.
Okay.
We're how does it say? You're off the mop.
Right.
That was the worst Barbosa accent I ever did. I sounded more like Davy Jones. Pirates of the
That's
Caribbean,
okay.
everybody.
No one cares about those movies, Bill.
No. No, other than Bill Nighy doing the best octopus impression ever.
It's Bill Nye. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. No. It's about time he gets the book out. I mean, he's taken forever to write it and put it out when there's this huge demand for it.
Again, I'm going to defend him because you know what? We haven't waited that long. Everyone's like, oh my God, it took forever. He started in like 95. And I'm like, Stephen King started writing The Dark Tower in 80 and didn't get it out until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You guys got nothing to complain about.
Right. Well,
Pump the brakes.
But there's not a hit television series that is kind of waiting for something to come out.
They're
Yeah,
not
but you know
waiting.
what? As awesome as the TV show is, no one told them they had to make it before the book series was done. You know,
Yeah.
They could have waited.
And the producers know how the stories end, and they said they're gonna do it until the ending, which I think we talked about in a episode of something. Star Trek.
The regulars, Bill.
I didn't know if it was the regulars, Game of Thrones, or one of these
Top shelves.
top shelves.
One of our other spin-off series,
We're just gonna do them all.
like our future spin-off series,
What's that one called? We already have Happy Hour and drinking.
Kegger.
Kegger? What's Kegger? Is he wearing an Edgar suit? Intergalactic Kegger.
Kegger.
Now I'm quitting Men in Black. I'm done. Moving on.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, books. Bring them
you.
out.
Bring 'em
Read.
out.
People read. It's good for you.
Reading is good.
Yes.
Sony is losing the distribution rights to Bond after Spectre. There's probably going to lead to a lot of hoo-ha, up, who's going to get the next one. And I think the last time this happened is when we got the best James Bond film ever, Never Say Never Again. So, is it time for another unofficial Bond movie to come out starring Pierce Brosnan? Huh? What do you guys think? 100% speculative. Not true. 100% not true. Don't worry about it.
I say you bring back...
Georgia Lazenby?
No, the other one. My favorite Bond.
Timothy Dalton?
Timothy Dalton.
Please?
Yeah.
Tim Dalton
After
coming back?
After Hot Fuzz, I'll take him back in the Bond role.
I love Tim Dalton.
Who doesn't?
Tim Dalton's the shit. I love Tim Dalton.
The James Bond movies, I like Daniel Craig.
Same here?
So hopefully, I mean, I'm not an expert on distribution rights and all that crap, but
LB, you are.
What is this? You can see the oh shit go through LB's head.
It's the what did Bill just say? What?
I'd be curious to see if... I mean, I can't remember who owns the production rights to Bond.
MGM?
It's MGM, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. MGM...
We'll see what happens.
I don't see why Sony wouldn't get the distribution rights back. Why they wouldn't re-sign up.
They said they're going to compete for it, was the last thing I read on that. So that looks like maybe MGM is going to be shopping around to get a better deal out of Sony, question mark?
Yeah.
Best of luck with that one.
You know what's going to happen? Marvel's going to get... Disney's
Disney's
going to get the
just
rights.
going to eat it. And then
pretty soon,
Hollywood Studios will be back to be renamed MGM Studios, and then me calling it MGM Studios is just fucking perfect. We're good.
You know, Bill, it won't be long before Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny contains all Disney characters.
I'm waiting for them to eat up Hasbro. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, it'll happen. Disney's gonna eat up everything.
What's the next? Oh god, I'm gonna butcher this name. Nikolai Arcel, is that right?
That may have actually been correct.
Oh my
I
god.
couldn't tell you, though.
He was one of the guys who did the Swedish version of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
That too, yeah.
He's
You mean the original version, Bill?
I think the original version's a book.
The original movie. Yes.
Dick move, Bill.
Yep.
Dick move.
Huge dick move. He is being looked at to do the Dark Tower. Apparently, he learned English so he could read the Dark Tower. So, because he didn't want somebody else translating Stephen King's words, he wanted to read it as is, and apparently is now a fanatic of the Dark Tower. So he's now being looked at over, I don't remember who was before, Ron Howard, I think was supposed to be helming it. I don't know. But this is looking at like movies and a miniseries and a movies and miniseries kind of thing, and I honestly still don't know how the hell this is going to work.
Well, I don't think Dark Tower was really Opie's thing, so...
No, it ain't. It's getting weird.
But this guy, I don't know, I never saw Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, either version, or read the book.
I've read the first two books, and then the third book, my audio book was scratched, so it skipped around, and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I've also never read the Dark Tower, so I honestly have no stake in this.
Don't start it. It's like... this is how I describe the Dark Tower to everybody. You know, it's like you read some books and it's like a happy-go-lucky adventure, like Harry Potter, we're going to school, hooray! This is like, and even like, you know, Lord of the Rings, we're gonna go save Middle Earth, yay! And like, you know, halfway through you kind of go, it's not so yay anymore, but we're still going. This is more like someone just hit you over the head and said, you're coming on the Dark Tower journey. I'm dragging you there.
Bill, did you read Harry Potter?
Yeah, I was gonna say
It starts that way, but
after parent death and like domestic terrorism with wizarding powers. Yeah, let's go to school.
I'm sorry, is that the best you got? Is that the best you got?
Lock a kid.
Fucking crazy.
Child abuse? Oh, child abuse, whatever.
Little child abuse, oh, that's all you got. You know, how about like in the first one, a 5-year-old gets murdered, entire town turns into drug addict zombie monsters that gets gunned down by one man.
Spoilers, Bill.
This is the first book, like the first chapter. Come on now, won't you? Hey?
Yeah, let me gain all of the hate. Yeah, I haven't read Dark Tower either. So
don't worry about it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying Harry Potter's not Candyland.
where I am in the tower, it is very much Candyland. I would
hate you
gladly
guys.
take a Ray Fiennes with no nose than what's going on. So you guys have nothing to say. Great, cool.
No.
Good
The
stuff.
Bill Show. Da-da-da-da.
Oh,
What?
that's well. It could very well just be a show like we have now, but without me.
Ba-da-da-da.
Because you're both Bill.
Between two bills.
Between two bills. Confirmed. Next spinoff.
Only got 1,000 going.
And DC Infinite Crisis, which was their MOBA, is officially shutting down after only being open for a few months.
Remind me what a MOBA is.
A MOBA is League of Legends, Dota.
It's just that thing where there's other games that do it better, so why?
It's a fancy tower defense game where you control the characters. Warcraft 3.
I love tower defense.
Then I should have you play League of Legends with me.
No, I like tower defense. Real tower defense. Like
He likes
Microsoft.
Bloons Tower Defense on Flash Games. ArmorGames.com.
Yeah, sometimes I just install tower defense games on my phone and I just play them.
No, it's that
I
thing.
apologize for that voice.
It's that same thing like the Elder Scrolls MMO. Like, it's just there's other games out there that do it better, and
Yeah.
when people are already super invested in in League of Legends, why are they going to switch over to essentially a reskinned version that has
Yeah.
DC slapped on it?
Yeah, it's like kind of like how Blizzard just came out, or is like what is it? Their Heroes of the Storm is coming out soon.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's basically League of Legends, except you can play as Blizzard characters, so you can finally be James Rayner shooting Diablo, who's riding a unicorn, which is
It's just
actually
like-
kind of awesome.
Yeah, that actually is kind of sweet. But what's the point in switching over games if it's the same gameplay and there's already a huge install? That's like why MMOs. Anyone who plays World of Warcraft isn't going to switch over and play Elder Scrolls Online when they have an
Yeah.
invested character.
Which also, what is it? WildStar, which was the newer MMO, is going free to play.
Which seems to be the only way to compete in the MMO world now. I mean, DC Universe Online is free
Star Wars: The Old Republic is free.
because they can't compete with a pay model. You're not going to
No.
get anyone.
No, is LB asleep now?
LB.
I'll be went into hibernate mode.
It's like, oh god, we're talking about MMOs and such.
Hey,
See,
hey,
I don't-
hey! I made a huge mistake and reinstalled the Old Republic because I thought, why not?
The last time I played an MMO was when my 3-month or 1 month or whatever trial of WoW ran out 10 years ago.
I remember when WoW came out. I just looked at all my friends because that was like the new hot LAN party thing. And I was
Yeah.
like, this looks fucking terrible. Can we go play StarCraft, please?
Yeah, I never could MMO. I never had the patience or the time to invest into MMOs. And especially World of Warcraft was like $15 a month.
Yeah, that's steep for me.
I couldn't if I could say I could put in 40 hours a month into playing it, fine, but I couldn't put the time in to be worth investing in MMO. So I don't have a stake in the genre.
No, and I only played Old Republic because it is very story driven, and
Right.
all the story driven stuff is pretty good. It's just like when you have to go. Instead of you have to level up before you can get to the next part, you have to go kill 15 womp rats, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, like why? I just don't get it.
Honestly, the story for Old Republic's great. It's just dealing with all the other BS isn't worth it. And if you do a free to play, you have to do all the other BS or you will fall behind.
Right. Well, and the thing is too, I never liked the gameplay style of MMOs.
No.
Click on guy, and then he just goes like this, and then it's done. I'm big into Witcher 3 right now, which is a
Third
role-playing game,
action,
but it's
third person.
yeah, it's a third-person action game where I can counter and
Yeah.
dodge and attack. So I can't. I just MMOs. I can't do it. MOBAs. I can't do it. It's whatever.
Yeah, LB, you sounded like you were going to say something.
Mm.
No? do you want to get off of MOBAs and
Yes.
and- okay. So this came up I think yesterday, and I'm super excited, Blake, for it. That Ron Perlman put on his Twitter. It said, "All right, let's get this motherfucking trending. Who wants to see Hellboy 3? We deserve a trilogy." And I don't know what it's up to now. My phone's just about dead, and it was on the top page of the front page of Reddit and Yeah, there seems to be a good positive swing going on here. So what do you guys think about that?
I love the Hellboy movies, so I don't see why not. That is a great idea. I think I would definitely like to see another one.
I mean, you haven't seen it, right, Wario Bill?
No, I have not. Wario Bill.
Wario
Yeah,
Bill.
no, I haven't seen it. I have not.
I'm pulling it up on Twitter right now to see how far it is. So keep talking, boys.
Well, I think it just speaks volumes for the power of the internet when it comes to media influence. Like, I'm a huge Community fan, so to see Community die like 3 times and then be brought back to life purely by the power of, crowd support, and even if a movie like that doesn't work out with a MGM or whatever, a movie studio, that crowdfunding is a thing that exists and would work to bring kind of movies like that alive.
Yeah, it's at 14.8K retweets. And it's not on the front page anymore, but it was for a while on Reddit, so I don't know how many upvotes it had. So
It's popular. People are looking at it and want it. So,
and everyone's like, well, why didn't it get remade? Blah, 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 blah. It made, like, Hellboy 2 cost $80 million. It made $160 million back, so it doubled its price. On top of that, it came out the same weekend as The Dark Knight, which some people still consider the best movie of all time, and I still call those people stupid. It's just, you think about that. It's doubled his money going up against this, juggernaut of blockbusters that's going to go down in history as this juggernaut of a blockbuster. And you think, well, that should still speak something about it. And yeah, and I remember, I think it was over a year ago now. I think it was like last E3, or Comic-Con, last Comic-Con. Del Toro and Perlman were walking around. And everyone's like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, we're going to try to do it. Because some kid for Make-A-Wish wanted to hang out with Hellboy all day. So Ron Perlman did the full makeup and hung out with this kid. And I'm like, see, that's the good stuff right there.
Yeah. Well, and to comment on what you're saying about a movie like Hellboy going up against The Dark Knight and doing so well, I mean, let's be honest, Hellboy's known, but he's definitely not as well known as Batman. So that kind of shows for the staying power of the character, or at least the interest of the character. I'm sure they would make their money back on it. Why not?
Yeah, and it's not like, Del Toro hasn't put out really a flop other than Mimic, but he bastardized. He disowns that thing too.
Well, his other thing is Guillermo hasn't done anything aside from Pacific Rim since Hellboy 2.
Yeah, he did Pacific Rim. And
I mean, as a director anyway.
Isn't he doing... Oh, isn't it... I think a lot of it's going to be based off of how Crimson Peak does. That's the new one, right? The trailer just came out for that, and I haven't watched it yet. It's Crimson Peak, and I don't remember if it's Tom Hiddleston or Benedict Cumberbatch that's in it.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston's in it.
It's supposed to be like a very supernatural horror film.
Oh, it's a Guillermo film?
It's a Guillermo film.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, and of course Doug Jones in it.
But by the way, Billy, if you don't know, if you ever want to know where Doug Jones is, he does this. If you watch Hocus Pocus, you remember Billy the Zombie?
Yeah.
He does this.
Yeah.
And that's Doug Jones. Now,
okay.
Now you know if anybody in makeup goes, that's Doug Jones. He's the he's the fawn in Bad's Labyrinth because he goes.
Yeah. Okay, so, I know who you're talking about.
There you go, Internet. That one's for you. Our last 2 topics for the evening. Yes, 2 topics? Yes. Okay. We got more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2 pictures. Thanks, Chris Birch, for this sequel. We got, we already talked about Casey Jones, I think, on the first top shelf. We got some Bebop and Rocksteady and Kira. Is it Kira? I don't remember. Karai and the new Shredder pictures. LB says it looked terrible. It looks like they ripped them straight out of the animated show, the 88 show, Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah. Not in a good way.
I mean, they literally look like I'm kind of behind it. If they can change the turtle design and some of the other stuff, I think there would be a proper apology for that Monster Man in the first film.
But it is a sequel to that movie, so they can't change.
They can do anything.
Can they just... You know what they could do? If they can do anything, why don't they just not do it?
Yes, because Chris Birch paid $5.
Yeah, I blame Chris. I blame Chris Birch. I feel like it's one of those things where they've dug a hole.
Yeah,
and like we gotta keep going. Like just keep going, and like
the one thing
they're gonna.
Yeah, no, they
They're gonna dig themselves to the center of the earth and burn up. That's
the one good thing is it looks like Shredder is actually going to be a costume and not CG again. And then, like, you see the guy who's playing Shredder, and you see Karai, and they look about the same age. So my theory is this, again, one of my great theories, is that the Shredder that was totally thrown in the first film died. And this is actually his son and his daughter teaming up, and the son has become the new Shredder kind of thing. And therefore, they put back this kind of personal vendetta against Shredder and the Turtles, and it's going to be a train wreck. It's going to be fucking terrible. But
I still haven't seen the first one. I have no plans to see the first one. Definitely not going to see the second one.
Don't say it's real.
And it's going to make $1 bazillion at the box office, and they're going to make 3 and 4.
We're all downhill. So you guys want to talk about something good?
I'll be happy if they make 3 and they call it Turtles in Time Again.
Turtles in Time again. One more time,
again.
we're doing this again. And it's just one long, like, running title for like an entire.
That's
age.
the 2 hours, just the title.
And they gotta have the magic lantern that teleports them in time. That's all.
So you guys want to talk about something great?
No, I'm done. Let's.
Nope. Cancel it. We're done.
We're done.
I quit.
Okay, we talked about too much negative. We've reached our negative peak. All right, let's talk about something positive. Trailer came out for Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, and it's wonderful. It looks great.
It looks terrible, but it doesn't matter. It's wonderful.
Well, what, graphically?
Graphically.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So there's the thing about that. I was just watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Yang. Yeah, he does a lot of MGS stuff. He just released a video talking about how what we saw in the YouTube clips is super, super compressed. And they have an uncompressed trailer of it, and he was doing like a comparison of it, side-by-side comparison, and the uncompressed one looks 10 times better. All the graphics look smoother, textures look better.
Even if they rushed it out, they're going to do a good job. I'm expecting the level of quality that was in Skyrim, at least, and even then, that's starting to show its age pretty much. But it doesn't matter, since I moved over to the PC Master Race, the modding world will take control, and it'll be the most beautiful fucking game ever.
Yeah. Well, and did you guys hear about the Reddit post that went along with that, with the one from about 11 months back?
Is this the one that like called it and everyone like discredited it, and then
and I was just reading about that today. That lady, I think it's a girl, who like called all of this release stuff, and you look through those comment threads, and it's like, you're a fucking liar, and you're a piece of shit, and you're stupid, and you don't know fucking shit, and now she's right. About everything.
Did you see the one that like someone said they called it and it was hidden in I think New Vegas somewhere?
Yeah.
Where it's like a train station and it says 2015 Boston. Like it's supposed to be train 2015 heading to Boston, but since this is taking place in I believe Boston, Massachusetts, or somewhere around Massachusetts,
Boston, yeah.
And that I think that's kind of neat. I honestly, as long as it's more of Fallout, I don't care what it looks like or how it is. As long as it's, I think you said it best when we were doing sound setup, LB. As long as it's more Fallout 3 in New Vegas, I don't care.
Yeah, it's exactly the same game, new characters, new storyline. I'm happy. Same gameplay, whatever. I don't care. I'll play it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want. I want more of the same.
And I know we're talking, I mean, I'm not PC Master Race, I am console gaming, but if we look at, Skyrim and we look at the Fallout games, really graphically they weren't the best things in the world, but the gameplay was there, and graphics in my eyes don't make a game.
No, it doesn't.
As much as gameplay, which they have in abundance.
I have like over 120 hours in The Binding of Isaac and 115 hours in Rebirth. So
right.
I don't care about graphics. I'm just saying that I now have the ability to get the nicer graphics, because you look at some of like the Skyrim graphics that look like real life. It's painful.
Well, and even going console, like I know I've already talked about it, but The Witcher 3 on PS4 looks phenomenal, especially for console games. So I expect a certain level of quality. But there is that, like, I don't know, there are those people who are like graphic, like they're just like, it's all about the graphics. Yeah, like, and get upset when graphics are downgraded but gameplay's good. It's like, I don't know, gameplay's always first for me, then graphics.
Now here's the little kicker. And I mean, unless LB, you want to say anything more about this, because we're gonna end right after this. Here's the kicker.
Happy.
Fallout 4 is attached to the gaming company that Del Toro made. So you know what that means? It's gonna get canceled.
No! Shh! Knock on wood. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Doing
it.
it. Guillermo del Toro is behind Fallout 4, and it's gonna get canceled.
I hate you. You said it here first, though. If it gets canceled, burn down Bill's house.
True story.
He was the one who cursed it. He said it.
I will gladly curse it because nothing is gonna stop that game. Nothing at all.
No.
War
Ron
might.
Perlman. War, but war never changes.
It doesn't.
Ron
Unless it
Perlman
gets
doesn't.
canceled, then it changes.
If war gets canceled,
Call it in. We're canceling. Click. Game over.
Game over. No more war. Yeah, I think that covers the news for this week. Yeah, unless you guys have anything. No.
Yeah.
No.
Ain't nothing.
What's that thought?
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're trying. If you're watching this, finally find it wherever it is. They're trying to do crowdsourcing to fund the Spockumentary.
Like his
What?
life?
I know it's a documentary about Spock, the character. Spockumentary.
Not Leonard Nimoy?
Well, it's like the character's influence on the world, that type of stuff.
They already did that.
So of course
It was-
Leonard Nimoy, because he played the character. But
It was called. It was a small run, like one season thing on History Channel called "How William Shatner Invented the Future." It was brilliant.
Spock, yeah. Live long and prosper. Leonard Nimoy, I love you. That's all I got.
Spockumentary.
Go look that up. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, I think it's been out for a bit. Go watch Kung Fury, that YouTube masterpiece. It was a fucking fantastic 30 minutes. I never knew I wanted to see dinosaurs eat Nazis before.
You didn't? I've known that for years. That's all I've ever wanted.
Like, in the back of my head, I thought I knew, but I didn't really know until I saw it, and it was beautiful. Go look up Spockumentary, watch Kung Fury, like, comment, subscribe on this video, and stay tuned for more stuff. I'm Bill. He's LB.
Oh, I'm LB, yeah.
And
I'm the other Bill.
that's Bill the sequel. Thank you so
Red
much.
shirt Bill.
Red Shirt Bill. Thank you so much for showing up, Billy. Take care, everybody. Bye.